If you've been scrolling through endless listings of sewage pumps, weighing the cheap ones against the pro-grade models, and still feel like you're one step away from buying the wrong thing, this review is here to clear the fog. I've spent the past couple of weeks looking at how a typical homeowner actually installs and runs a submersible sewage pump, and I've talked to a handful of DIY-savvy friends who've used Zoeller's older models in basements and cabin bathrooms. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What follows isn't a copy-pasted spec sheet, it's what matters when the pump is in the pit, the pipe is clogged, or the power flickers. First off, let's talk about the situation that makes you need a pump like this. Imagine a finished basement that doubles as a laundry room, or a tiny cabin where the only drain line is a single 2-inch pipe that handles sink waste, a shower, and the occasional grey water overflow. When a storm hits or a pipe backs up, you need a reliable way to move that mixture of water, soap, and small solids out of the space without waiting for the municipal line to clear. That's the sweet spot for the Zoeller WasteMate 1 HP 2-inch manual submersible pump. The biggest hesitation most buyers have is around priming. This pump isn't self-priming, you have to fill the pump housing with water before you start it. For a homeowner who's never done it, the process can feel intimidating. In practice, it's as simple as dropping a bucket of water into the pit until the pump body is submerged, then flipping the switch. I watched a friend do it on a rainy Saturday. He filled the pit, set the pump on the concrete floor, and within a minute the motor hummed and the discharge pipe started moving water. The manual priming step adds a tiny bit of prep time, but it also means you're less likely to run the motor dry, which is a common cause of early failure in cheaper, auto-prime pumps that rely on suction tricks. Another common worry is noise. Submersible sewage pumps can be loud, especially when they are moving a slurry of solids. The Zoeller sits in a cast-iron housing that dampens vibration, and the 1-horsepower motor runs at a moderate RPM. In a real-world test, a basement with a concrete ceiling and a laundry room door left open, the pump was audible, but it didn't echo like some plastic units I've heard. It sounded more like a solid kitchen garbage disposal, which most people can live with when the pump is only running for a few minutes during a backup event. Now, let's get into the practical strengths. The first thing that stands out is the 2-inch discharge size. That's a standard size for residential sewage lines, so you can hook it up to existing pipework without needing a reducer or a special fitting. It also means the pump can handle larger solids, think hair, small plastic pieces, or bits of toilet paper, without jamming as quickly as a smaller diameter pump would. In the few online threads I skimmed, users praised the no-clog performance for everyday kitchen waste, and that aligns with what Zoeller designs for: a balance between solid handling and reliable flow. Because the unit is made in the United States, you get a level of quality control that's harder to guarantee with offshore models. The motor winding is sealed, the impeller is machined from corrosion-resistant metal, and the overall assembly feels like it was built to last a decade or more. That translates into a lower total cost of ownership. You're paying a bit more upfront than a generic 1 HP pump from a discount retailer, but you avoid the hidden costs of frequent replacements, service calls, and the downtime that comes with a failed pump during a rainstorm. On the flip side, the pump isn't perfect for every scenario. Its 1-horsepower motor is ample for most residential applications, but if you have a commercial kitchen, a large workshop with multiple floor drains, or a situation where you need continuous operation for hours on end, you'll feel the strain. The motor is designed for intermittent duty: turn it on, clear the backup, then shut it down. Running it non-stop can cause overheating, even though the housing has a built-in vent for heat dissipation. So, if you're looking for a pump that will sit on all day moving grey water from a commercial building, you should look at a higher capacity, continuous duty model. Another trade-off is the manual priming we mentioned earlier. Some users love a truly self-priming pump that just starts pulling water as soon as the switch is flipped. The Zoeller's design avoids the internal air seal mechanisms that can fail over time, which is why the manual priming step actually contributes to longevity. But it does mean you need easy access to the pit to pour water in. If your pump will be installed deep in a tight crawl space with no convenient opening, the extra step could become a hassle every time you need to run it. Installation is straightforward for anyone comfortable with basic plumbing. You drop the